NBC News report revealed that the conservative news outlet spent more money on pro-Trump Facebook ads than any other group outside of the Trump campaign. Brandy Zadrozny reported that original story and has been keeping us updated on this Epoch Times controversy. Brandy, for starters, for people who aren't familiar, what is the Epoch Times and why is Facebook banning them now?
Sure. So the Epoch Times or the Epoch Times, it's not clear how you say that because there are lots of different pronunciations and employees say it both ways. But whatever it is, it's a conservative media outlet that's really just jumped on the conservative stage. But who's behind it is a decades-old Chinese-American spiritual movement who believes that there is a coming apocalypse where anti-communists and communists will battle each other. And now they have really glommed on to Donald Trump as the person who's going to make that happen and make them victorious. So that's what it is. They've been buying up Facebook ads that are very pro-Trump as a way, as part of their tactic to break into the conservative sphere. Facebook banned them not because of that. You're allowed to post propaganda on Facebook's ad platform. That's fine. But what they did is after we started reporting on them, they started to hide what they were doing. So they stopped they sort of tried to go around the very basic transparency tools that Facebook has instituted, and they started making fake pages, sort of like what the Russians did, right? They made fake pages like honest media, best media, and they started hosting their ads there. That's not allowed. Facebook quit.
So why is this ban such a big deal? What can we expect now?
The ban's a huge deal because this is where political organizations go to get eyeballs of people that vote, especially older Americans, and a lot of white older folks go on Facebook a lot of the time. So that's the Republican base right there. So if they can't get subscribers anymore through that platform, that's a huge deal.
Has the Epoch Times responded to this controversy at all? Are they saying anything about it? Any thoughts on where they may, go next?
They haven't. They're not happy with our reporting.
Okay.
They think that we're not focusing enough on how China has persecuted their people, which is true. But it's true that two things can be bad at the same time, right?
Right.
So they're not happy with our reporting, but they have a home, luckily for them, still on Google and YouTube. So for now, they're there.
So this may not be the end of such advertising.
It's probably not. It never is, right?
All right. Brandy Zadrozny, appreciate it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.